Hello, and we're live.
Hello.
And you're listening to Let's Drone Out. Tonight, we are joined by everyone's favourite Curry Kitten.
Hello.
My buddy Carl.
Howdy.
And I'm Bright to Life Fly. Hello, and good evening. I do apologise, we are slightly late. That's because of me.
And me.
I'm Cole. I was on time.
Actually, it's Walmart's fault because they delivered an item to the wrong address, and I have to call customer service and be a Karen. And I have to run around to my apartment looking for my box that was delivered to the wrong floor. So,
have you got to lug it down yourself?
Oh yeah, dude! I had to pick up this 70-pound bed frame and get to the elevator and look like I'm not trying to steal packages from different floors.
Oh my god!
Because apparently there's actually in my building supposedly packages have mysteriously gone missing, but I swear it is not me. I promise.
It's upset him so much he's talking in imperial measurements.
I know.
Am I? What did I say?
70-pound box.
Oh, well, we go by pound. I never use kilograms for weight, really.
I'm curious.
Yeah. It's the same place that has Roger. Is it Roger or Rogers screwdrivers?
Rogers Internet?
No, the square tip screwdrivers.
Phillips? No. Oh, the
Robinson. Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. But you mean for screws? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have those.
Yeah. He's off. He's got to hunt another package down. What's been happening with you, Jack? He's back. He's found a screwdriver.
Not much. Yeah, this is it's Robinson.
Oh.
Yes. I know. How
just
weird.
It's like a big Allen key.
No, look, but it's square. Look.
Yep. I even have a smaller one.
Look at that.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
That's weird.
I know.
Yeah. It's for I feel like it's like a wood thing. It's for wood. Well, I guess screws are for wood, but
okay.
Known as a square screw.
Was it actually a Canadian thing?
It's a Canadian thing, yeah.
I never knew that.
Commonplace in Canada. Yeah, I know. There you go.
You know what? They're good because they don't really just come out of the hole when you're trying to screw stuff in.
That's what she said.
I knew that was going to happen.
So I saw on your Instagram, Cole, you flew.
I flew
recently. Yeah,
I have done. Yeah.
Was it for fun or was it for work? Because it kind of looked like you were shooting something.
Well, this is the baseball field thing, isn't it?
Well, okay. So there's two things. So the day before yesterday, I went out to a different baseball field and football pitch for you British folk. And I was testing my gear to make sure that everything was good. And it was. And I was actually testing out my GoPro 11 Mini without stabilization because stabilization is kind of like cheating. It does make you look like a better pilot than you are. It takes out all the little micro jitters. But I was like, I want to see what it looks like without stabilization. And if I fly like crap, then either I suck at flying or my tune is crap. So upon testing, my drone flies great even without stabilization. You do see a little bit of micro corrections or whatever, but so that was 2 days ago. So everything was all good. But yeah, last night I was actually shooting for I was shooting video on my camera, but basically this I filmed a TV show a couple years ago with this one producer director guy, and I would just do it using regular cameras, but he's like, hey man, want to bring out the FPV drone? We're doing something on a local sports team. So yeah, I was out shooting some video and flying with my FPV drone yesterday, which was pretty cool. It was interesting. It looks really cool actually when they have the baseball field and it's all the perfect lines and you're really low. I can't show anything right now because it's not really for me, but I wish I could. I probably could, but I don't know if I can. So I didn't sign anything saying that I can't. So I could give a little sneak peek if you guys do want to see.
Yeah, man. I'm always interested in seeing what you're up to.
All right.
As long as you won't get in trouble.
Well, yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Well,
oh, he's through to the supervisor.
I know, innit?
Do you know who I am?
I know. Should we try and commentate him without it? How dare you? It
That's
was the
no
wrong.
fun.
It was the wrong floor. How should we?
How could you deliver this?
We'll remove him till he comes back, and me and
All
you
right.
can hang out. How you doing, Curry? I saw that you finally received the back of your Foxeer box. No, not Radio Master box. I always think it's Foxeer.
Boxer. Yes, I did.
Foxeer.
Although I don't think it's a problem for anybody else. I think it's just the review units had a very tight module bay to the point that I had to dig my module out with a screwdriver. But the ones that are in production have the current back, which is absolutely fine. Even though they look identical, it was literally a case of one, the modules get stuck in, and the other, they just come out normally. Crazy.
You saw in the back that it had like little cutout release. Do you think that that's all it is? Do you reckon they've redone the mold, or do you reckon they just sawed the corners off?
I remember you saying that the Ghost module you said was the worst, and the Ghost module I couldn't even press all the way in without like using proper force, and that would be at the top. So they must have just rejigged the mold and then put those little cutouts in. Because what was happening with the old one, if I took the back off, I could take it out because there's more flex in the back of the bay in the molding. So by taking the cutouts out, you get more flex in it even when it's attached to the radio. It's a weird problem, but that's good. It means I can use that again because I was using it to set up my walk snail quad, and then aside from the fact I should tell you two things. See if anybody else has experienced this, because I'd never done it before and it was apparently quite common. So I was trying to flash my my quad to 4.4, this little chestnut, the Chimera, which has now got the walk snail BTX2 Pro camera in it, which is all very good. But despite me holding the boot button and plugging in and the right light coming on, it wouldn't recognize DFU mode. And I couldn't quite figure this out. So I started trying to unplug everything from all the UARTs. And literally when I had no UARTs connected, Betaflight said, "Oh, you're in DFU mode. Let's flash, shall we?" Which is apparently not an uncommon thing. But in the hundreds of times I flashed things, it's never, ever happened to me. So I eventually managed to flash that and get to 4.4. And then... what was I saying? I forgot what my first initial thing saying about it was. Oh yeah, I was trying to hook up the boxer to it, and I hadn't used it for so long. I found out it was a completely different firmware on both the receiver and the TX, and I had to update both.
Oh, yeah, the updates for Express LRS are coming out thick and fast, I must admit. Yeah,
but it was the case of like the radio was on 3.x.x maintenance level, so it was on a pre-release version, and something else was on like 2 point something, so it was way out. It didn't have a clue. To answer Frank's question there, it has been pretty bad weather, but I did manage to do my garden hover. This is the excitement of the garden hover. Are you ready for this? Whereas Tony got excited about seeing the grass, I'm like, look at the detail on those turds in the garden. Isn't that amazing? Thanks for Roshi for laying those down there. So that is my one flight on Walk Snail so far. And it was a case of me making sure that the quad flew and I didn't do anything bad. And also just learning how to put the OSD on top of the video afterwards. Which was another problem because the developers there have... seem to have compiled the package for a certain version of Mac OS, which is a later version than mine. So I had to compile it myself. It's a pain.
Is it an H7 flight controller?
No, it's an F7.
F7. Okay. And apparently, Tailspin says Bardwell mentioned that problem.
Oh, okay. I just never hit it before.
Hello.
Sonic Tonic, are you talking about the Micro Drone 4? I don't know. I am unsure.
No, he's talking about Cole getting a sudden call. Cole's like, I'm going to show the video, and then suddenly he's going to come back saying, no, I can't show the video. I've been told off.
I know. It's illegal to cease and desist.
Oh, someone reminded me that I need to be in Jack's bedroom. Caroline. Yeah, so basically I got a robot human on the phone, and they're like, I'm sorry, we are going to take your feedback and we will let you know. If this happens again, let us know and we will compensate you. And I said, but this happened now. So, and then she goes, oh, I'm very sorry. This should not have happened, but if it does happen again in the future, let us know and we will compensate. I was like, hang up. I was like, okay, thank you. Have a great day. Yeah.
Was it actually a robot or a human?
No, it was a human that had a script, basically, that it's like, if someone complains, say this. And they just basically repeated that back to me. So I basically gave up and said, have a great day. And yeah, I didn't actually say that.
Just let me speak to the robot in charge.
Yeah. Yeah, so a futile attempt at customer service, but that's fine.
So are you going to show your sneak peek of your video, Cole?
Yeah, I mean, we're 11 minutes in. I mean, I think
I can stall for time. Hang on. I see Curry got given a rock with a crawler.
Another free rock. That's 2 free rocks now. I'm trying to create my own rockery in my garden, so I just keep getting these little things, which looks like this. Look at it. Look at the little suspension. And it's better than the last one because it's stiffer. Look, go over rocks and look, the articulation of the wheels move.
Look at that stance. Is that right? Is that the right thing?
We're
the best. We're the best 4x4 drone podcast there is.
We do it all.
Hey, double
okay,
A,
here we
how's
go.
it going?
I have it up.
He's got it.
This
That's
is top secret information. Here we go. Can you? No, you can't see that, can you? That's just my page. That's not it. Oh, geez. Share screen. Window.
That's the one we want.
Okay.
So what you see, Carl.
So you see.
We see Carl struggling with his computer right now.
I know. That's all I need.
Is Carl frozen? Carl? Hello? I think he's dead, Jack.
Oh dear. Not great.
Another victim of your room.
I know. That's what happens.
Oh, now he's coming. He's coming back. Now there's 2 Coles. Here's one of them.
Oh yeah. So my computer, like, whoa, what is happening? Sorry guys. What?
I added the other goal. There's 2 instances of goal.
Yes.
It is starting to seem a little bit coincidental that every time you try and share the video, there's a call or something. There's a computer problem. It's like they're not wanting you to share it.
Yeah, they have little gremlins in my computer that are like, I know what you're up to. Okay. This should work. Crash.
Come on then.
Please. Okay. Here we go. Present. Share screen. Window. Ta-da. Okay. So let's fast forward to somewhere that's kind of cool. Oh, and let's turn off this because that's loud.
See, that was feet written on the back of that.
Yep, we do use feet and meters and kilograms and pounds. So here's a baseball field. I'm like, oh, that's fine. They're just practicing, so it wasn't like a full game. There was no spectators or anything, but it was still pretty cool. It's just a little bit of ripping around, and there was one part where I tried to get the one guy was hitting the ball, and it was really hard because I was trying to basically follow the ball as he hit it, and that is not easy. It's a very tricky thing to do. Sorry for the stutter. I'm trying to find the shot. I think it might be this one. No. Maybe. Oh yeah. Oh, I think that was it, and I just skipped over it. Here we go. This must be this one. So I go around. I'm trying to time it up. Oh, is he going to do it? Oh, there he hits it. Boom. And then, this guy goes in and he catches it. And
probably need HD for that so you can actually see the ball.
It's pretty hard to see a ball, isn't it?
It is. Well, and especially on analog. Yeah, it's you should have seen the DVR. That was a little bit tricky too. But
were these people under your control? Did they know you were flying?
Oh yeah. They all knew I was flying, and even the coach was aware as well. Like we got full permission from the coach, and it's all for a production thing. So it's not just like I'm some random guy. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let's fly around through the bleachers and have a little fun with it. I've actually flown here before, about a year and a half ago. A buddy of mine, he knows the groundskeeper here, and they let us fly here just one night when it was basically just cleanup night. So it wasn't my first time, so I was a little bit familiar with the place, luckily. I think I'm going in for the landing here, but then my tripod was in the way, and then the producer's wife was in the way. So I was like, well, I can't land there. And then I have a little bit of a crash landing. I'm like, okay, this spot's good. Oh, a little flip over.
Was that you in the red shirt, or was that just a spectator?
No, that's somebody else, but I am actually
trying to figure out where you are.
I'm right there, bottom right. It's kind of dark.
I see, yeah.
Oh,
so you are in the bleachers of the baseball diamond.
Yep. So that was pretty fun. I think my favorite part was going all the way from the top. It's sort of like diving down, but yeah, it was cool. It was pretty fun. I did like flying through the bleacher spot though. It's a little bit risky, but yeah. So that's a little sneak peek. First time, well, I guess not my first time using FPV for something like that, but first time ever shooting anything with baseball, so that's kind of fun.
Caroline Taylor's got back to you. It says, is GPS or any other peripherals connected to UART1 or UART3, F4, F7, H7 chips, and these peripherals are powered on whilst connecting to the USB? The flight controller cannot enter DFU mode. Apparently,
so
it's related.
I read the same thing about UART1, and that didn't make a difference. And I can't remember what the GPS. I thought the GPS was into like UART4 or 5 or something. I couldn't find anything in the other one. So it basically unplugging everything. Fortunately, everything was on plugs and nothing had to be desoldered. That was the main thing. But it was a pain in the ass. What was supposed to be like a 5-minute job was like an hour and a bit of like, what's happening here? Why isn't it working? I know, I'll have to unscrew the whole thing again and have a look. How come Cole gets to fly in interesting places all the time? And we're like, we went to a field today and flew around in a circle.
I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's all about who you know.
Matty flipped that bridge. Don't do that.
Wait, Matty flipped the bridge? Well, what I ended up doing later on so here was the kind of silly thing was like the director guys like I was like how many batteries should I bring? And they only last like maybe 4 minutes. He's like, bring them all. We're gonna do them all. So I'm like, okay, I got 8 batteries. He's like, bring a charger too. We got to do it all. Da, da, da. Well, I only got to fly 3 packs, and I'm like, well, now I have 5 more batteries sitting fully charged. So at the end of it, basically, we were supposed to do more FPV stuff after the practice. I only got to fly for the warm-up. Well, there was a game happening after the practice, so the field was taken up by a next sort of like, whatever team. So I pretty much had to fly my batteries to I basically was just like, okay, I'm gonna fly to storage charge because that's what you have to do. If like the worst thing for me is like you charge up all your batteries, you go out, and then you only fly a couple of them, and you got to go home, plug them all into the charger, and then discharge them to storage level, and that just seems to take forever, and it's not fun. So
you can buy a battery discharger. Some people say they don't last that long.
No,
but basically it's basically a hairdryer, a DC hairdryer with like a fan, and it's like blowing through Nicron wire. I think that's how they do it. And the way the way your charger's doing it is through a like bank of resistors, and it's blowing the heat over the if you crack open like a charger, there's like big old ceramic resistors, and they just sit there and soak up a load of turning the electricity into heat.
Well, that's what I noticed too. Is they get very, very hot after discharge, and it also like it takes an hour per battery almost if it's at full charge. And I don't have the best battery or anything, but
Steve FPV says he uses halogen bulbs, which is what I used to do. You can bring them down very quickly, but you kind of have to manage that a bit manually and keep your eyes away from them, because putting that much energy for halogen bulbs, it's like, wow, it's really bright in here all of a sudden, and they're giving off a lot of heat.
So this was my fly to storage level battery. So I actually ended up flying over the river, and guess what, Curry? This river is called the Thames River in London, Ontario, Canada.
You're trying to rip us off. It's like, this is London, honest. Look, that's where the Thames is. Man.
I mean, we are part of the British whatever. We are Canada.
Commonwealth.
Yes, that's the term.
You have to respect the king.
Oh, yes, the king now. That's true.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, yeah, it's that
Did
was a
you
big
not
thing
have to
week,
endure any of that coronation bullshit over the weekend?
Well, when you told me coronation, I'm like, what is that? And then I Googled it, and then it's I'm
amazing,
pretty
isn't it?
I'm pretty
Like
ignorant.
he's on a different planet. It's great.
Well, I also don't really pay much attention to
I don't blame you. I don't. This is not a dig at you. It's a dig at...
No, I didn't watch any. What were you doing, Jack? Were you just so bored? It's like, watch the coronation.
Well, I wanted something challenging to masturbate to. Good luck editing that one out.
Yeah, that would be tough. That would actually take you quite some time, I bet. You have to watch the whole thing.
I know. Camilla just doesn't do it for me.
One thing that I did find interesting was, maybe I spoke about this last week. I don't know if I did, but I put my remote control power output in my OSD just because I was curious to see how the the dynamic output level on my Tango 2, how it works out, depending where I am. And it's pretty interesting, actually. A lot of times it stays at 25 milliwatt, even when you're pretty far out. But then sometimes when you're behind, maybe a couple trees, it would, go all the way up to like 100 or 250. It was cool to see, at least to be able to see like what the transmitter is outputting.
Just watching this video about the I'm trying to think of the word now. Discharger. That's what it is.
So how much does that cost, though?
Do you want
£70? So like 130 Canadian, or about $100 Canadian or more. That's a lot of money for just to be able to discharge packs.
There is cheaper ones. They're they're kind of 69. The ISDT FD200.
I've got the very cheapest ones in the world, which are awful. They're these these tiny XT60 and XT30 connectors. You just plug them in, and it's like, this will discharge your battery. It's like, yes, over a period of about 60 hours, it will eventually discharge down, because that's got an even smaller, tinier little ceramic capacitor or whatever it uses to convert into heat. So it's like, 6 days
Well,
later, your battery's back to storage.
The annoying thing was like I flew my packs down to storage last night, but by the time I got home, I'm on 4S. They were at like 15.8. So I'm like, damn it, I need to still go down a few. So I put it on the charger and I'm sitting there. It's like, okay, 10, 20 minutes goes by, has gone down like none. So I just basically plugged my battery into one of my quads that had no props on it. And I just like blipped the throttle a bunch of times and, just killed a bit of power that way. And then it was at storage and then everyone lived happily ever after. You guys ever do that? Just plug it in your quad and just play with your motors a bit to no. Is that bad to do or does it matter?
I just have them on my charger whilst I'm like playing a game or something, and then I'm sat right here and then like the beep beep beep. Okay, next one. Sometimes it takes a couple of days to get them down, but I think generally it's like if I seem to have acquired the knack of getting quite close. So if I fly each battery down to about 3.5 volts per cell when I'm under power and then land, they pop up to around 3.8, 3.85, and then there's a little bit to go, and that's pretty easy then.
Yeah.
So this is in Canadian dollars.
Oh, $80. Yeah.
Oh, there's the shitty one. Second one there, the 4 LiPo battery discharger. That's what happens if you don't mind waiting 6 days.
Yeah.
Is that how long it takes?
Literally. I think.
Shit.
I looked at it and it's like, this isn't working. The power's coming off. And then 2 days later, it's like, no, it's dropped a whole volt now.
Gavin Ferry, friend of the show, Binary Throttle, who done the sort of like whoop flying at the mini air show, the Hobby Fly digital LiPo battery capacity checker balance discharger for storage and voltage meeting testing servo. He had one of those things, and you can use it to like balance really out of balance cells. So you just plug it in and it will just sit there and gently tick away to get everything back up to, so that the battery's nice and balanced. And it was pretty good, but I just find it really difficult to get hold of those here in jolly England.
Well, there's 5 left in stock right now, Jack.
It's America though.
Oh, that's no good.
But, oh my god, black versions of the IMAX B6, yeah.
The B6 was everyone's first charger, surely.
Yeah, I mean they were the only people.
Well, I had a question for you. How come some chargers storage value is 3.8 and some is 3.85? Because the 3.85 ones, it's 15.4 on a 4S pack when you're at storage, whereas the 3.8s is 15.2.
It seems to be like there's no agreed value there. I've noticed this as well. And in the chargers that do 3.8 per cell for storage, they also do 3.85 for high voltage batteries. Which I've always just stuck to. But yeah, I've got a couple that says, "Oh, you want storage? You want 3.85?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I want 3.8 to go change it." Yeah.
But you know what? I actually prefer 3.85 because when I want to charge, I have that little bit of extra, voltage on there.
0.5 of a volt, like.
Oh, 15.2, 15.4. Yeah, it's like.
Oh well, mind you, it's like half a volt per each cell, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So it all adds up. I will shut my mouth. Sorry.
I find that it actually it saves my charging time by like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. That might be a stretch, but.
So, Cole, you've been flying for a while now.
Yeah.
And you still remember normie life.
Yes. What, DJI life, you mean?
Normie life.
Well, we won't talk about that. We don't. We don't.
We won't name names.
You served your time as a potential wrong un, shall we say? And now you were cleared of all your charges. No, but what do you find, if any, like aspects of the hobby that has improved your normal life? Like for me, having
since you started?
isopropyl alcohol just like kicking around is so
Well,
handy.
Okay, so sorry. Before I get into that question, I will do a thing that we can laugh about. So,
Can I have an Oreo cookie?
Have an Oreo cookie, and we'll have a laugh. So, remember I said 2 days ago I went out to test my gear to make sure it was good for yesterday, right? Well, I brought my original Mavic Pro, like the OG Mavic Pro, because I was like, I haven't flown this since I went to UK last, and I crashed it on the beach. I think we talked about it a long time ago. Well, I don't know if I told you guys that I got some free spare parts from a local DJI repair center because I had a broken little foot and bottom plate was cracked and stuff. But so I wanted to try it again. I haven't flown it in like over a year, probably about a year. And so I flew my FPV, I flew my quads, and then I flew my Mavic Pro. But before, when I used to fly Mavics with my thumbs. I used to be a thumber. Well, now I fly as a pincher with a Mavic because I can't fly with thumbs anymore. But the only drone that I crashed 2 days ago, was my Mavic. I actually crashed my Mavic again because I'm trying to fly it like an FPV drone and go through gaps and it just
fighting it all the way.
It's the worst. There's no control on those things, and it's terrible.
Oh, he's in control.
There's no control on those things. You let go and it sits there.
No, the wind. Okay, so I do have video if you do want to see this crash.
He needs to tell you about the Bazvik argument between me and him.
Okay, so here.
Actually, it started in my room, didn't it? And then went all the way to.
So pre me even ever flying FPV or even caring what FPV was, Jack was trying to put me onto it and say, look at this cool thing, and you can do this, and you're in full control. It's manual and da-da-da-da. I'm like, you're not in control of that, man. I got so much control on my DJI drone. And like, little did I know that I would be eating my words and biting my tongue all these years later. Well, I guess, a couple of years later. That was embarrassing because, man, I do not like the controls on DJI drones. Like, yes, forward, backwards, left, right, pan, tilt, great. That's about it. But don't try to fly it through gaps unless it's like a really small one.
What, a really small gap? So you shouldn't go for the big gaps, just tiny ones.
No, I mean small drone.
I still don't understand. Like, have you turned into a regular punter now? Because whenever I see these DJI drones just been sold, and I remember every time they launch the new ones, I go searching for like people that have somehow crashed them. They come up with more sensors, so you can't just ram them into things, and they tell you when you like close to the ground and stuff. I don't know how you're crashing them. I mean, if you're trying to go through gaps pretending it's an FPV quad, I can get that. But
hang on, Cole, I'm so sorry. I think it's because he's flying it in sport mode. Because if he doesn't, he now flies FPV and will be in a coma by the time it gets anywhere.
No. Okay, but here's what it is.
Let me just say, it's different. As soon as you pick up a DJI drone and start flying it, it's just like, okay, we're just moving our camera along and we're gently getting this lovely viewpoint, and that's it. I don't know how you could like, man, I got to rip this and I got to try and loop it somehow.
Let him defend himself.
So here's the thing. 99.9999 to the infinity nines of people flying DJI drones are putting it up like 100 feet in the air where there's nothing around them. Well, I do fly quads like that sometimes still, but I will show you what happened. It's hilarious. I almost crashed it into the garbage can, which was the funniest thing.
Where it belongs. Oh
no, they have a purpose. But okay, here we go. So, and I put my Mavic into portrait mode because I was like, we're gonna make some Instagram reels today.
Fucking hell, man.
So,
I'm gonna go on TikTok.
Yep. Well, okay, so I have a Mini 2 and it doesn't do portrait mode, but I have the original Mavic from like 2016 and it does it. So I'm all lined up. It's all good. I'm gonna hit the gap fine. Watch this. Well, it starts going to the left, so I stop and then hits a ping, ping, and then the video stops for some reason. I don't know why, but
the thing is, even if you made it, it would have looked shit because you're going through that gap at walking pace, and it might as well just have been someone carrying a camera. If you're going to zip through that, that's an FPV drone. If you're going to use a DJI, use a DJI drone. What is good for, which is like going high up.
Did you break
following?
it?
Yes, circling around things.
Just the props, and then I had to like calibrate the gimbal afterwards, but it was fine.
Oh, what a bastard! Can you go back there and get that gap with your FPV quad?
Oh, I already did.
Any shred of dignity. All right, find that.
Okay.
Also,
yes.
So
you see that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on, Jack.
Yeah, the retail job, because not only has Cole served his time with me ripping him an arsehole, but he's also had to deal with his old.
Wait. We shouldn't say any company names, probably though.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
can you think of a rhyming big box store? Am I allowed to say that?
Maybe Crest Cry.
No.
I used to work for a company that may have sounded like Crest Cry. But so wait, what's the point of this topic though?
Well, you've had to sell things to the average punter,
Oh yeah,
to explain, like, why would you want this new drone? What, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, let's just say this: I did have to stop a few like mothers trying to buy the Mavic 2 Pro for their 10-year-old son.
Oh,
I was like, no, sorry. Like, there are some other drones and there are some toys, but yeah, you're not like. And it was so funny. This one lady was trying to like, she was like yelling at the kid. She's like, no, don't say it. It's not for you. It's not for you. I'm like, yeah, sorry. Like, I'm not selling you a Mavic 2 Pro for your 10-year-old. Like, I mean, sure, I could have made a sale, but it's just not. That's not a thing.
That sounds like something your store manager would have been against. It's like, Cole, why are you not selling this drone when someone's come in and wanting to buy this drone? Why are you refusing to sell this to a customer?
Well, because like this kid was like, I don't even think he was 10 years old. He was like 7 years old, and she's like,
you kind of feel like a gatekeeper, like on a sort of pretentious DVD seller. It's like, no, I'm not selling you this copy of insert pretentious title here. You wouldn't understand it. It's not for you.
well,
I mean, no, your 10-year-old can't have this drone.
Well, it's kind of like selling a car to someone who's just under, just under the legal age to drive.
Or it's like selling a Porsche to a 16-year-old.
Well, is it like selling a Porsche to the parent of a 16-year-old and saying, "Oh well, you do with it what you like." I think my moral compass is slightly different. I'd be like,
the regulations even, is like,
you're going. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, what regulations?
Well, okay, so there are a lot of rules, as everybody knows, about certain things, and you kind of know when this type of product should be in the. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a gatekeeper. Maybe I'm being whatever, but like. Something felt morally wrong about selling a Mavic 2 Pro to a 10-year-old kid, like whether it's his mom or not.
Was he buying it or was the parent buying it?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Does it though?
I think so.
So would you in a clear conscience?
The answer is yes.
Really?
I don't give two shits most of the time about anything.
Sorry?
What happens if they're with a dad and you didn't know and you just assumed it's for the dad?
Well, if the kid's like, woohoo, mommy, I'm getting my new drone. And he's like, not even like half a meter in height. It's a Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Again, that's just my opinion.
I mean, that's a lot of money for a young kid as well.
I think a little DJI Tello. If it was a Tello, I'd say, Bob's your uncle. Go ahead. But like, it just seems like
you're not allowed to have this. It's too expensive to you. I am the moral compass of this store, and you're not having it.
Nothing to do with the money. It had nothing to do with the cost of it. I don't care what people buy.
Probably kept that kid out of jail.
Wow.
I found an interesting article from Oscar Lang. That how to make your own DIY battery discharger out of a resistor and XT60.
Oh, that's good. But you want one that cuts off for you, don't you, when it stops, or when it gets the storage charge?
Yeah, true. Yeah, you need some sort of like smart tech in there.
So I'll just go back to another retail story. Maybe I was just too good at my job, but when I worked in a company called Office World, I can mention their name because they don't exist anymore. I'm having a dog shoved in my room. You're driving to where? Tesco. Okay. Okay.
Wait,
Sorry, we're talking in sign language over here.
do you want something?
Yeah,
What do you want?
normal.
Maltese? No, crunchy.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll get a broken one for you.
Kit Kat.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I'll get a Fanta, please.
So when
You
working in
should.
Office World,
Why don't you tell her to like get Vaseline, rubber gloves, and a cucumber, and just be
Because we're not doing your shopping list. So whilst working in this store, we had these little boxes connected to the printers, so I could press a button and like a print would come out because it didn't have like computers connected. So I was showing this man this printer, and I was like pressing the buttons. I said, "Oh, you see, you can print this. This is a good example." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to buy that." And he's like, will I get the box so I can press the buttons?" I was like, "No, it does more than just that, but you have to connect it to your computer." And he's like, "Oh." I still sold it to him. I don't know if he ever used it or just got confused that it wouldn't print out little pictures from buttons. But
yeah. Okay, so here, back to my, you saw the fiasco with the DJI. Now,
is this soccer grounds? Is this like football? Do you call it soccer?
This is a soccer field, and then there's baseball fields in the back. So, let's see. I think this is without stabilization too. This is when I was testing the non-stabilization.
Was it Kit Kat chunky? Did you get?
No.
Crunchy bar.
Might have been a crunchy.
Oh, did I go too far back?
Oh, calm down, Sharpoo. So Cole just rips through a goalpost.
Oh, that's easy.
We now have a dog live on the podcast. Roshi, say hello. Did I pronounce the dog's name right?
Yes, Roshi.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
how's Poppadom? Where's Poppadom?
She left again.
Oh,
it's coming up, guys. Here we go. Hitting the gap. Hitting the hitting the gap that I crashed.
Cole's now trying to go through a little shed gap.
Like, easy.
Look at that.
Easy as butter. Can't do it with a DJI drone though.
Well, it wouldn't have looked good on DJI, would it? Because it's so pedestrian.
Yeah.
The right tools for the right problems, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Doro. Was it Doro in red earlier?
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's a different human on a different day, at a different location. Yeah.
Now, did you guys watch because I noticed you got Dorothy there. Did you guys see the latest long range? Who was it? Falcon Red, is it? That guy in Canada that flies up the glaciers?
Yep.
I noticed whilst I was watching that his wife was there, and she took out a notepad and she would write down battery voltage information.
Yep. I saw
everything like that. And I was making people watch some of it, and I said, "Why don't you ever do this?" And she says some rude words to me.
One thing I noticed in that video was, out of nowhere, randomly, his the woman in the video, I'm not sure who it is specifically to him, but she would like randomly put her hand on his shoulder, and I feel like if I was flying long range and a mysterious hand appeared on my shoulder, I'd probably crap my pants.
Was it that mysterious? Because she was sat right behind him.
Well, I mean, would you? I
thought it was just a bit of moral support. I thought,
I'm going to text Doro.
That's quite nice.
Yo, Doro, do us a favor. Like,
put your hand on Cole's shoulder while he's flying kilometers away.
Yeah.
Make a bear noise.
Miles. Yeah, make a bear noise. Yeah, I did notice that though. So that was a crazy video. He went out pretty far, and on one of his dives, he got some DJI stutter on the 03, and that was a little
You just had
scary.
the 03 just freeze. It was only for about half a second,
Yep.
but that's a bit scary that far away and without any chance of recovery whatsoever.
Yeah, that does. I will say that his videos are highly enticing me to go digital for long range, because it looks like he flies Crossfire and 03 air unit, and man, it looks beautiful. One thing I always find funny though is when guys have like a HD cam, but then they have DJI DVR. I'm like, it looks the same. It's like it's both digital, so it doesn't look that different, and there's not like there's a ton of OSD either, right? So I guess depends what you're flying, but
no, I mean it did look really nice.
It does, yeah.
I think you're slightly spoilt there by like, okay, I can literally go up this mountain through these waterfalls and then through some snow onto a glacier, and no one's around for miles, and it's this beautiful straight line straight upwards, and you always know that when you're coming down, you've got more battery than when you went up. He's kind of spoilt there. It's like if we did that, it'd just be like, here's some houses. Some more houses, there's a field, and we're coming back again, which was what most long-range videos look like in the UK. It's just like fly out, turn around, come back, and it's all
hope
a bit
that the
dull,
rain
but,
doesn't start.
yeah, but there he doesn't get the hassle of having to sort of like go higher and higher up as you're going further out, because he was going higher and higher up, but he was still close to the local ground. For
it's not like he has to go like crazy high above the terrain, right? Like he was basically he's out in BC, I think, British Columbia here in Canada. It's pretty inspiring actually to see his long range stuff. Like my next build is going to be a long range build, and I don't know, it's really weird. So like,
get one of these.
Oh, nice.
Maybe.
What is that?
Rush. You like it? This is
Chimera?
a Chimera 7.
Yep.
So the iFlight one, but I've just installed Walk Snail on it to test out. So that's going to be, once it stops raining, we go test that and see how it does. And you can examine the gravity of what my boring fields look like in HD.
I'm sure it'll help a bit, at least get an idea. So one thing that I was wondering though, I don't know if there's like an issue with my build, or if it's just me flying behind stuff, but I mean, 500 milliwatts on analog should be more than enough to send you out pretty good distance if you have line of sight, right? And as long as there's not a lot of interference and stuff. Like, but there's no like hard, like, if you have this much output power, you can fly this far. It really depends on where you are, right?
And how high you are off the ground. I mean, it used to be back in the olden days. It used to be a case of like, oh, go 100 meters up for every kilometer you're out when we're back flying planes and stuff. But that would break the height rule, certainly. Where's he gone?
Don't know.
I want to try and find my
supervisor
DVR
robot come back. But yeah, nowadays it's kind of like there is a certain effect of the atmospheric conditions. There can be, and certainly you can go through different zones of how good the signal is or isn't. No fear of clouds with GoPro Hero 11. Visma, I don't know this one.
No, I don't know. Is it worth a subscribe? It looks incredible. Thank you, Caroline. Caroline shared this video, and we're watching, I guess, some mountain climbing and diving.
Oh, that's cool.
Got the lovely coloured OSD as well. No, nice. Digital for the win. Thank you.
I saw this too. That looks amazing.
Oh, this is pretty funky.
I guess
low with mountains. Well.
Yeah,
low cloud's an interesting one, because that can be a real blocker on regular 5.8 because it's like, you know how 5.8 doesn't like water, and basically you've got
no
like
signal likes water.
Well, I mean 5.8's worse because it's a higher frequency. If you get a lower frequency, it's better. But certainly going through clouds can be interesting. But this seems to be holding up really well, doesn't it?
Well, and this is HD0, is it, or?
It's definitely not HD0. I can't see all flickers everywhere.
Oh,
DJI V2.
Oh, geez, wow. Oh, so it must have like the WTF or something on it, I guess.
What the Foss? I don't know whether What the Foss is only. I don't know, but then again, you've got that different. Maybe can you What the Foss V2s? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I want to get your guys' opinion on how this DVR looks, because
I made the mistake of updating my Betaflight quad, and now Smart Audio does not work, and I just can't get anything to fucking work properly. It is a nightmare.
Is it detecting it as version 2 or version 2.1?
It's Tramp actually.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
But
Tramp's
I
just
say Smart Audio.
Tramp.
So yeah, this battery was like
my DVR.
almost fully charged. Yeah.
At least the video fits nicely in this format.
Yeah,
it's true actually.
The Cat 2, the Cat 2 is so good in low light. It's ridiculous. So this is when I was just trying to get my packs to storage level, but like
I just like to remind everyone this is an Ultra.
Oh yeah, Kiss V2 Ultra,
Kiss Ultra over a body of water. Just like no fucks given.
No. Well, you know what? I mean, I kind of know the limits now. Like I know I can trust my gear, so I'm not scared. I'm not as scared. I try to, I try to keep it within my limits.
That is interesting though, the 25 milliwatt.
Yeah, that's I wanted to see. It's transmission power or TX power still at 25 milliwatt.
Has there been many updates? Because I have not been following the Discord.
I haven't checked. But like, so any idea why I'd be getting this like random? Is that just normal? This random flickering, or does that seem fine? Or
it's a bit tricky because you are over houses there, and so there's probably some noisy crap coming up from all of those, which is gonna do some stuff. It's not particular interference pattern.
Stuff is figuring out whether to switch to dark mode or stay in color.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and you wouldn't have noticed that on like the Swift 2s, because if you go into the menu, it's set to like lock into color. But obviously, you've paid all this money for this night vision camera, so it's kind of like, I think it's on the cusp or flicking between the both of them. See how? Look at the sky. Look at how it's like getting rid of like the color data and putting it back. That's what leads. I could be wrong. I could be totally talking out my arsehole, but that's what I believe it is. Because you notice it's kind of like flicking between the two of them. And why would interference do that? It wouldn't. The lines across it is interference.
So I went again, but I don't know. It's definitely odd, but I mean, like
it's more grey.
Well, no, the sun was going down, so there was less light over there.
Yeah,
you do need to do the same test in a less urban area and see if you get a different result.
Yeah, like go out into the country, middle of nowhere. Yeah. But I mean, otherwise, I mean, for analog video, not bad, I guess, eh?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you can see noise around the grass and stuff, but you're flying at low light, so it's going to be. I suppose you need to test it in the right conditions. So if you've got like a clear, bright day in the middle of nowhere, you should be able to fly out a decent distance without getting any sort of noise or flashing and stuff. Some cameras react a bit funny to, bright sky and stuff, and they change a bit. But you shouldn't get the sort of the flicker back of the different colors and things.
Yeah, on the last DVR that I showed, like the last battery, it was I was behind myself a bit, but yeah, like right now I'm kind of beside myself, and now I'm behind myself, sort of like behind and to the side. So I'm getting worse video or whatever. But I mean, it's still totally flyable. It's just like now I'm just kind of getting, but yeah, I guess like it doesn't appear like there's any issues though, right? Like it does seem fairly normal, I guess.
Yeah, it's fairly normal. It's always hard to say because of the area you're in.
Yeah,
There's plenty of stuff around there, and there's you're standing next to big metal objects as well.
I am. Yeah, like by like a batting cage, and yeah, that's true. Okay, well that's good to know. I was always just curious, and yeah, the whole TX power thing, it is kind of cool just to see, but yeah,
That's interesting. I normally just fly my, I mean, what is this, Crossfire, is it?
yeah.
Because I normally just put ERS on like 100 milliwatts and just leave it there, and I know it's range for days. I've never put it on dynamic to see what happens.
Huh. Oh. The one person I was with there, she was like, "Oh, I'm surprised it's not that loud," and then I just like punched out, and I was like, "No, that's not. It can get loud, but."
Frank says, "Yeah, you can be 6 meters away from any metal will help."
Yeah. Oh, joint.
Donk.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my fun. So yeah, it is very surprising though just how well that thing can see in the dark. It's pretty powerful little camera.
That's cool. Just a rapid change of direction here. Jack, are you drinking out of something you stole from a meth lab? I can see markings down the side.
Oh, it's it's basically those stick blenders. It's a beaker from one of those. That you kind of like stick the blender in. And
it kind of looks something I'd see on Breaking Bad. That's the only reason I mention it. But okay.
Yeah, it looks like medical and it's full of piss. But yeah, it's a beaker out of. I just need large because I haven't got much large intestine left. I no longer get hydration from my food, so I'm constantly having to drink. So I just need if anyone finds the source of these, which is like 750 ml, let me know because I would like
just get one of these.
Oh yeah, or you could carry around a whole water cooler and be like a bro from Cole.
Yeah.
How is that? Are your kidneys like killing from the like sheer flushing? Have you got to finish that whole bottle every like 2 hours?
No, I drink like maybe 1 or 2 of those a day.
1 or 2? Holy shit!
I do pee a lot though. Yeah, it's about like 4 liters of water a day. Yeah,
that's a lot.
But yeah, it's a lot of water.
Wow. There you go. People's drinking habits. You heard it here first, people.
I know.
Drink water. It's good for you. You are more than 3/4 of water.
Sorry, you brought it up because you were. I should find new and interesting things to drink out of, like say like a saucepan and drinking out of that.
Yeah, I mean, those measuring jugs you can get in the pound shop are like a whole liter, and you can cook those easy enough.
Yeah, true. That would be quite good.
I love how you guys call it a pound shop, because to me that sounds like somewhere you're going to go and you're going to get beat up.
Not well, a pound of weight.
We call that a dollar store. We got the dollar store.
Dollar store.
Yeah, come on down in North America to the dollar store.
That's where you get all that cheap foam, which we have to pay extra for.
The cheap foam?
Yeah, flight tests always used to talk about getting their foam from the dollar store before they had their own foam and making airplanes out of it. And if you buy it over here, it's like about £4 per sheet. Yeah.
Ah, okay. That's interesting.
Cereal in a jug is a game changer.
That's quite cool.
Actually, what's really sad is I love cereal, but I don't do well with milk. I've noticed over the last little while that milk kind of doesn't really work well for me. So I haven't been drinking milk anymore or having cereal. So that's sad.
There's plenty of milk alternatives.
Yeah, like soy and whatever, but I don't know.
Some crazy people put fruit juice on their cereal.
Shut up. What?
That is odd. I remember one time I had I poured a bowl of cereal, and then I didn't realize how much milk I didn't have any milk left, so I went to pour it. There was none, so I was like, I had to put some water on it. Had some water cereal.
How was that? Was that tasty?
It was cereal and it was wet, so it was close enough.
Soggy cereal.
Yeah.
Yum yum.
Yeah.
Did you see that Tony nearly died yesterday?
No.
What happened to Tony?
Brake lines had corroded enough, and then he was on the M25.
No.
On the brake, and it squirted, and he leaked out all his brake fluid, so he had no brakes.
Ooh.
So we nearly.
That sounds like a movie. Who's cut Tony's brake lines? Who's not happy here?
Jack.
I shouldn't joke.
Jack's like, I'm not finishing your X class.
Isn't Jack a mechanic? Would he know about how to cut brake lines?
Mate, if I was going to kill Tony, I'd do it in a spectacular way. It would be brakes, fire, explosions, just pure death.
I'd train an eagle to carry him away in his talons.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. Like
what was that one thing? Dog. You probably have the flaming woofler thing out there too. It'd be like, what's that thing called again, Jack?
The foamy woofler. You said it right.
Oh, foamy woofler. I said flaming woofler.
I mean, that does it.
Flames are the byproduct.
Opportunity means a motive. Thanks, Frank.
Suspect number one.
I know. So
who has flying plans for next week at least? Obviously Cole, because he flies everywhere exciting.
Well, no, I think I'm flied out for right now, man. I still haven't finished editing stuff from Taiwan. I still haven't finished editing stuff for Jack. So what I've been doing lately is I don't really like to edit my own stuff anymore. I like to just take the video. I don't edit it. I just do one packs now. I used to do chop and edit up all my stuff into the best clips and make myself look so cool. I'm joking. But now it's okay, one battery is one video. And that's it's just a lot more ideal from a editing standpoint because I'm getting buzzed. Oops.
Doro rewatched it and went, "How dare you?"
No. Wait, rewatched what? My videos?
No, this episode because we mentioned.
Oh no, I think she's passed out right now actually, and I think her computer is here. So unfortunately, this is all the time I have for today.
Yeah.
So
no worries.
I love you guys.
Say goodbye, Cole.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, evening.
Leave your computer on for the update. The upload. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I can leave leave studio though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we got time for, really. Hopefully, one packs, no cuts for me today. Fair enough. Well, that's all we got time for. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. This show is sponsored by our lovely Patreons. We are thinking about maybe making some mock adverts. So get your unbreakable Kit Kat curry Kit Kat fingers and Tony's beard trimming and brake line cutting device.
It's the first I've heard about it. You may have mentioned it.
Yeah, hair keep treatment for men. Who knows? But anyway, these lovely people that are scrolling by are the guys that keep us afloat. Hopefully next week we can do a bonus podcast if Curry's timetable is good and Stephen's back.
Check the calendar.
Cole's back. Was it the laptop or was it Walmart saying sorry?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dorothy's new desktop.
Hey, what specs?
12th Gen i7.
Okay.
Gig of RAM, 3060 with a 12 whatever, 12 gigs of video RAM, and it's a beast. It's pretty damn good.
Sounds good. Yep. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. You've been joined by everyone's favourite Carrie Kidden.
Goodbye.
My buddy Carl.
See ya.
And I'll be bright to I fly. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and join our Patreon. We love you guys. Thank you. Good night.